What's going on, everybody? How you doing? In today's video, this is a donation request. This is for Rob. This is a little bit interesting because it's kind of my pick. He kind of wants story time, but also music, so I can do that. Okay, so he is saying, I want to hear top 2 Dave Matthews songs, since I was in a Dave Matthews tribute band way forever ago. 20 years ago. 20 years ago now. Yeah, easily 20 years ago. That make you realize his music is maybe outside the regular categories. Yeah, Dave Matthews Band music is Dave Matthews Band music. Like, there's that music where it's like, it's not really in a category, it's kind of its own thing. And I would put Dave Matthews Band in that for sure. I mean, you know, you can pull thing, you know, where, okay, there's this, that, or the other thing, whatever. But for the most, like, they're like a jam band, basically, right? But really, it's like their thing. And people are crazy into it. So I'm telling you right now that I have not made my picks yet, and I'm starting the video. But I have a song in my head already that I know. I already know a lot of what I'm going to say, and also what I'm going to do. Actually, what I'd like to do is I'd like to kind of go through their albums a little bit. So, you know, when did I join this band? I joined the band in... So what happened was, I was in college, right? My first year, I had enough money saved that I didn't need to work during the school year, so that was great. My second year, that was not the case, because over the summer, I was going to a community college to take my gen ed classes because it was cheaper to take those classes at a community college than at Berkeley, because Berkeley is stupid expensive. So, and they transferred over. So I took all my gen ed classes at a local in New Jersey community college over the summers. I did that the first 2 summers. After that, I stayed in Boston the rest of the time. This band being part of the reason. And also just to finish sooner, all that kind of stuff, doing summer school, like just taking summer semester basically. So my second year, I did not save enough money, so I needed to work, and I got a work study job at the college. I worked in the admissions department, and I fucking hated it. It sucked. I felt like I felt like this, like, life sucks right now. This sucks ass. I don't want to be doing this. I was in a major that I wasn't like, the whole time I was just like, I'm not playing. I don't have time to play. I thought I'm here to play, right? So no, I wasn't playing. I was freaking out. I was freaking out. So I saw this ad on Craigslist, of all places, for this guitar player, singer, and drummer that were buddies, right? That were looking to put together a Dave Matthews tribute band. And somewhere in my brain, I was like, that's a great idea, because that'll probably work because they're popular. And this was it had to have been 2002. Had to have been 2002. Sometime in 2002, I think. I don't think it was 2003. I think it was 2002. But it was somewhere within there. And I got together with them. They were not music students. The drummer was, but he went to UMass Amherst. Both of them went to UMass Amherst. The drummer did study music, but he was like, you know, he went to UMass Amherst, so he was studying like freaking marimba and shit like that. You know, like when you go to you know, all that kind of thing. It's like some like liberal arts college instead of like a music college is different. And you go into their programs, it's like, okay, you're not learning like drum set. You're learning marimba and fucking timpanis and bullshit like that. If you're into that, that's cool. Totally cool. But, you know, that's not what I wanted to do. You know, when I went to Berkeley, I went to a bunch of colleges to just tour them, you know, before I chose Berkeley. Me and my family, we knew I was going to Berkeley regardless. Like, you're definitely going there, but my mom still wanted me to see other options, other schools. Like, let's just go and see. So we went to go and see a bunch of other bullshit, and it was kind of silly. And it just showed how much of other programs were a joke, in my opinion. It was like, oh, you guys have one bass teacher. You guys don't even have an electric bass teacher. That was one of the issues. Was I only played at the time, I only played electric bass. So I wasn't exposed to upright bass until I got to Berkeley. And then I was like, oh, damn, that's really cool. Oh, shit, I need one of those. So that's when I started studying upright bass, is once I got to college. I was like, oh, no, I need one of those. And I got one. Yeah, I got some cheap, like cheap thing or whatever. Anyways, so I meet up with these guys. We start practicing. I think it was once or twice a week. I would drive out to Concord from Boston to Concord, right? Massachusetts people, you guys, right? I would drive by Superman's brother's house, right? I vaguely remember Superman's brother lived in over there. Christopher Reeves. For those of you, all you people are old enough to know who Superman is. And go to this guy's house and rehearse. And we got a sax player from Berkeley, and the sax player brought in one of my buddies, right? I mean, they're all my buddies. Actually, I love all of those guys, but he brought in the violinist, the fiddler, right? And then we were like, it just fell together. It just fell together, and we rehearsed, and then by the next school year, that September, we started gigging. And it was cool. I mean, I didn't need a job anymore because we were gigging every weekend. We were gigging, and it was enough for me. I was in college, it was enough for me. I didn't need it to be like some insane schedule or something. And it was fun. It was a ton of fun. And I was like 20 years old and, like playing these bars and, all that kind of thing. Everything that comes with all that. 19, 20 years old, right? So going into this band, I was not a Dave Matthews Band fan. I actually wasn't really crazy about their music at all. But I knew that they were popular and that we would get gigs. That's why I joined. And also, it turned out the band and playing those gigs was fun as hell. Super fun. All right? So let's look at Under the Table and Dreaming. Okay, so we played nearly every song off of this album. Best of What's Around, What Would You Say, Satellite. The band was actually called Satellite. Rhyme and Reason, Typical Situation, Dancing Nancy's, Ants Marching, Lover Lay Down. I think we did play, but it wasn't often. I think that one we may not have. Jimmy Thing we played. Warehouse. We did not play Pay for What You Get. And we did not do number 34. So we did the majority of that album. The next album, Crash. And I remember that, a lot of those from my watching MTV, right? Because that album came out in, 94. So I remember, I was watching MTV at that time, right? I remember that. Okay, and then Crash is the next one. Again, MTV, right? I remember a lot of this. And we played, again, the majority of these songs. Let's see. We played So Much to Say. We played Two Step. That one was always cool. Crash Into Me, obviously. We played Too Much. We played number 41, obviously. We played Say Goodbye. We played Drive In, Drive Out. Oh, I might need to... That one might be one of the ones I pick, actually. Drive In, Drive Out. Wow. Yeah, I'm remembering this stuff. Yeah. Let You Down. Did we play that one? I don't think so. Lie in Our Graves we played. I remember that one being cool. We did not play Cry Freedom. We did play Tripping Billies. That one was always pretty cool also. And we did not play Proudest Monkey. So there's that. Okay, now, before these crowded streets, I will say that this is the album that I liked the most. Like, as a listener, this is the album that I liked the most because it was very different than their other albums. It just hit me more. It kind of felt darker and heavier. We did Pantella Nagapampa, Into Rapunzel. We did The Last Stop. We did Don't Drink the Water. We did Stay. I don't think we did Halloween. We did The Stone. We did Crush. Did we do Dreaming Tree? I don't think we did, but I like Dreaming Tree. And we didn't do Pig or Spoon. I like this. This is my favorite of those ones, for sure. Like, absolutely. And there's a song that is off of this album that we're going to do. I need to remember what song it is. I need to remember what song it is because it's been so freaking long since I have listened to Dave Matthews Band, like specifically on purpose. It's been forever. Okay, and then Every Day came out. This came out in 2001, and by this, we didn't do that much of this album. So I know the rest of the albums. I know we're starting to know less and less. When the World Ends, I'm pretty sure we did When the World Ends, and Every Day, and that's it. I don't know that I know anything else off of this album. Okay, and then Busted Stuff came out. By this time, I think the band had started. This is in 2002. And we did Gray Street. We did Where Are You Going? And I think we did Bartender also. The other thing is that I also saw, there was so many Dave Matthews Band tribute bands. There was like several out of New York State and different areas that I subbed for a couple of them. You know, like kind of knew each other. Our singer went on to go and be the Dave Matthews guy for one of the other ones, some band out of Rochester, you know, just different, you know, it's whatever, the circle basically. Stand Up came out. By this time I was out of college and we were still doing gigs, but it wasn't as much at all. Dream Girl, did we ever do Dream Girl? I don't think we did. American Baby, I think we did. Yeah, American Baby we did, and that was probably it. And after this, I don't know any more of their albums, like at all, like fully at all. Big Whiskey, and I don't know these albums. Yeah, I'd fallen off by that point. But to me, out of those early albums, my favorite was Before These Crowded Streets. There's just something about the vibe of this album that was different, that I liked more, that I just liked more. I don't know if it was that it was heavier or darker. I was just more into it. So, okay, let me try and find this song that I have in my head that I don't remember which song it is. I know it's off of this album. Yeah. All right. I first try I found it. First try I found it. I was like, I think it's this one. Let me. So this is The Stone. It's off of Before These Crowded Streets. It is Before These Crowded Streets, their third album, released in 1998, produced by Steve Lillywhite. Certain songs see the band apply polyrhythms and Middle Eastern scales. Numerous guests are featured on the album, including Bella Fleck, Alanis Morissette, the Kronos Quartet, Tim Reynolds, guests on every track. Yeah, it's just a more interesting record. At the end of many tracks on the album, there are musical interludes, most of which consist of small jams or outtakes not developed into full songs. Yeah, cool stuff. Okay, let's get into this. So this track has Kronos Quartet on it. The Stone, Dave Matthews Band, Before These Crowded Streets. Let's do it, bam. Right off the bat, those strings. This is what they're talking about, the little interludes, these little snippets of song. You got this going, right, to start it out. Right? The band just creeps in. It just feels dark and like something's gonna happen, right? Also, Carter is awesome, right? Carter, of course.
I'm this creeping,
this bass part.
Suspicion that the things here are not as they seem. Reassure me. Oh, why do I feel as if I'm in too deep? Now I've been praying,
waiting for it. Is it happening yet?
For some way to show them I'm not what they see. Yes, I have done wrong, but what I did I thought needed be done, I swear.
Super cool. super cool. The instrumentation is sick. Nice notes, right? It's color. Okay, so he's just sliding around. There it is. I was waiting for that high note.
I was just wondering if you come along.
It's nice. All of a sudden.
When my head won't hold on, I'll do the same if the same.
Who else sounds like this?
You want, and if not, I'll go.
It's really dark, brooding. Growling bass. That note? That's what I was waiting for.
I was just wondering if you come along. Hold up my head when my head won't hold on. I'll do the same if the same is what you want, but if not, I'll go. I will go to bury the past, for I don't want to pay. Oh, how I wish
This is awesome. There's no band that sounds like this.
Who
sounds like
back the clock and
It's just great.
over again. Now I'm just wondering if you
It's all nice and light here, lighter for sure.
when my head won't hold on, I'll do the same if the same's what you want, but if not, I'll go.
Right? Breaks down, you got that low, that horn.
I need so to stay in your arms, see you smile, hold you close, and now it weighs on me as heavy as stone and a bone chilling cold. I was just wondering if you come along.
We're floating, right? We're floating now. And then we got this. Can't believe I remember this. I mean, we played a lot. Right? Super nice. All this color and melody. Right? You're going from this part that's in 4 into this section in 6. All the rhythm that's happening. All this melodic content that's happening, right? String quartet. Really nice song. This is one of those musical interludes at the end of the song that has nothing to do with the song, but it's just a thing. It's like 70s, right? Wow, it's been so long since I've listened to this. There it is. Cool. Yeah, that's the song that I had in my head. That I was like, I'm going to play that song. What song is it again? Oh, yeah, it's The Stone. Great one. Great one. I remember, I don't know what I'm going to pick next, but maybe it'll be Drive In, Drive Out, because I remember really liking playing that one, but I don't remember the song off the top of my head. So maybe it'll be Drive In, Drive Out. But I also remember really liking the Dreaming Tree off of this album. Yeah, I really like that one. I liked playing Crush, even though that one, just because that one is like kind of a vibe. That one's like, it's kind of there like, this album's crash into me a little bit, right? Which I was never, you know, those first couple albums, even though they are great, like they have so much hits basically for them that I remember playing and people were so into. But I just wasn't into them like listening wise. I like playing it. I mean, playing it was all great. I liked all of it. I don't think there was a song or a thing that I wasn't crazy about playing. You know, even number 41, which you had to play, you know, because there was just so much improvisation, and the band, everybody in the band that I was in was really good. So it was like, it was cool. We were just up there improvising, pretty much playing these songs, improvising. It was great. Cool. What else do I have to say? If you have your two picks wide in his own category, I mean, yeah, that is its own category to me. I'm like, no band is sounding like this. Nobody's playing like this. This is specific to these guys. Even just the instrumentation that they have with the violin, the fiddle, right? And the guy that I played with, it's not a violin, it's a fiddle. Okay? It's a fiddle, right? So with the fiddle and the saxophones, right? Whether it's the soprano or the alto or the tenor, you know, like what he was playing, that alone was an interesting aspect of the music. And then Carter Beauford is, you know, I mean, there are people that are like not as into him, but a lot of people are, you know, he's a good drummer, right? He's great for that band. He sounds great. He's a great drummer. Really cool, interesting parts, and obviously very talented, very, very skilled at the drums. Stefan Lessard is a good bass player. So he was like still in high school, and they had to like wait for him, right? There was something I vaguely remember, like he's the youngest, and they were like trying to do things, but he needed to finish high school first, kind of thing. His bass lines are always interesting to me. They were never intuitive for me. That's kind of how I would put it. They were always interesting. I would always have to like make sure that I learned them and got them down, because it's not just something specifically that I would have come up with or improvised or anything like that. This was at a time where I was studying a lot of jazz and also listening to a lot of R&B, and that's really what I was studying so more and like getting into. So anything James Jamerson, like it was easier for me to copy that style than this. This I had to, you know, like make sure that I had it. So where I could improvise James Jamerson style more or less, right? Because I was really into that. Anyways, kind of like a slinky kind of, even this song, just like how he's playing and what he's playing, just a very slinky kind of sound and movement and kind of motion on the bass. So yeah, cool. That's what I got. That's what I would say. And then obviously, you know, Dave Matthews doing his thing on top of all of it. To me, for him, really, it's just more about like the songs, the songwriting. It's really about the songwriting. It's a very interesting song. Very interesting song, you know, cool stuff. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and do Drive In, Drive Out next. Only because I don't remember it, but I remember liking playing it. And we didn't always do it because, isn't it, I vaguely remember it being a little bit more challenging or something with it specifically. Like I remember being on stage and be like, all right, we're like, it wasn't one we could stop playing, because if we stopped playing it, we would need to brush up on it. I vaguely remember that, so I want to hear it just to see what it was about this song. It'll be interesting to hear again. Anyways, that's what's going on. So there you go, Dave Matthews Band. Definitely their own music category. But, you know, I would say within the whole jam band thing. Totally within the whole jam band thing. You know, with all the improvisation and just their openness and willingness to bring in players that are improvisers, really. You know, I mean, if you have like all these like instrumental and solo kind of sections, that's just you know, that's just what it is. So it's cool though. Dig it. Vibes, man. Yeah, anyways, cool. I'll catch you in the next video.